Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much for blessing me with your presence today as we dive into getting a little sugar in our coffee or in your cup today. No sugar in mine, just creamer, sugar-free creamer we're doing. Anyways, we're listening to the track Sugar. This is from Stanley Turrentine off of his album of the same name, which was released in 1970. What is that album cover, man? What is going on over there? What the? What is this, brother? What is this? What is this? Anyways, we're listening to this because it was suggested and sponsored by Joe. So, Joe, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for sending this over. I appreciate it. The album cover has my mind just just gives me it's just something. Okay, now Joe, you said since I had there he is in the back. Since I had recommended to all you guys Cat by Hiroshi Suzuki, it's the last album over there on the bottom right, which is I just listened to it for the first time earlier this year. It's already one of my favorite albums of all time. No doubt about that. You said that you'd suggest something from some of your favorites as well, which I love to hear. So let's go ahead and pull this one up here. Sugar, Stanley Turrentine. That album cover is just getting me. It's just getting me. Here we go. A good jazz track with chorus. And a classic walking bass line. Some distinct echo on there. Hear the band talking. That's the kind of riff to lead you back to the chorus. that feathering on the kick. Yells back. Doesn't this make you like cool, man? This is just cool music. There's the handoff. Just relax. Look at the I see the personnel. Listen to those vocal phrases in there. Cool line. Listen to Benson, man. end of someone's solo, someone else comes in and starts to just riff a little bit. To it. They saved it for the last minute too. I just love how they bookended this track with that chorus. You know, I like it. I like jazz. It's my honestly. I don't have a favorite genre of music. I truly don't. I really don't, because I can't imagine one genre of music really, for myself, taking any sort of precedent over any other. But if I had to choose honestly one genre to listen for the rest of my life, if you like forced it to me and like, you know, held a cannon to my head, I'd probably choose jazz. It's just what I'm always going to like in any respect. However you cut it up and dice it up, I'm going to always enjoy it. And this just sounds incredibly classic. They'll look at the lineup. I'm gonna pull you guys up here. Look at the lineup you have on the album. Okay, so Stanley Turrentine obviously leading on the sax, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Lonnie Liston Smith on electric piano. We haven't listened to a lot of him, but we did check out a track from him on the channel at one point. So probably should revisit again. Butch Cornell on organ, George Benson. Is he back there? Boom! Give me the night. Ron Carter on the bass. I don't take this as fact, but Ron Carter is probably one of the most recorded bassists in history. Billy Kay on drums, Richard Pablo Landrum on congas as well. Not on this track, obviously we didn't hear. But like, you just have a star-studded lineup, and it shows. What to start? Where to begin? If you don't mind, I want to talk about Benson. I love the coolness that he brings into this track. He brings it, of course, into his music, obviously, as well. But the coolness that his guitar brings in is just soothing to listen to. And that tone, I really love that specific jazz guitar tone that, yeah, you get from Benson. You got Wes Montgomery up there as well, very recognizable. And like, I just realized my wall's becoming more filled with jazz. I just realized that. I just love that particular tone. Wow, 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 wow. Like, I just like that tone, and the way that he brings that in here is really, really nice. Let me see if I can pull up to that solo from Benson. And I like how you begin to get little blowings from the other musicians as well. You always have those moments during the solos where the other musicians will play in their pocket, allowing for whoever's taking solo, whoever's taking lead to do their thing. But you have those moments where one or two of the musicians in the back will begin to cook up a little something in the back. And I feel like that's what you're hearing right there. You're hearing a little bit of the sax kind of cooking up a little bit of a melody just behind it. And you're like, and you probably have Benson like, okay, you're back there. I can play with you. I can swing with that. And it's just a really cool thing that happens in jazz, and you can kind of imagine all the musicians there kind of, glancing at each other. You hear some laughter and some whoops going on in here as well. Like, yeah, we like nailed that. Like that excitement is just palpable in the air. And I love when that portion of the studio recording is brought to our ears. I also really like this part here. That's Hubbard. I love that like that quick kind of quivering that he does there. I think that sounds awesome. I love how that to me is like in a rock song when the guitar solo is doing the like what is that, hammer-ons, arpeggios, whatever they're doing. They're sweeping. They're doing a thing. That's exactly what he's doing right there, and I think that sounds so cool. Like in a jazz context because it hits in the same kind of heavy way, but just obviously with a completely different sound. And the beginning, the sax solo, it's smooth, it's fiery, it's cool, hits everything. And I love that the music swings so well. Even Carter, who obviously was creating just a really great stand-up bass line, and I love how he walks it up and down throughout. But even Carter gets in on a few moments while, others are soloing, where he kind of plays around with the bass line a little bit more, fills it in, fills those gaps and colors in the lines, and just has a good time. Same thing with Billy Kay on the drums. He's doing a very, very similar thing. Like, let me get to the transition here. In the space. Hear how Carter's kind of warming the pool. See how he starts to change things, to perform the notes a little differently as he goes there. This is, what's really funny to me? When I listen to music like this, and specifically jazz within this era and such, I've never heard of this song or track. I've never heard. I can't off the top of my head say that I've heard of Stanley Turrentine, even though it's very possible I've heard him in some other context or somewhere else. I'm sure if I pull up his discography, I'm sure that he's performed with some band or album or someone that I've probably checked out. I just can't say off the top of my head. But can I say, I'm just looking through here really quick to see if there's anything that immediately stands out to me. But can I say, listening to music like this, even though I've never heard it, is incredibly nostalgic for me. It's incredibly nostalgic for me. It really takes me back to my childhood, and just music like this always around in some capacity, whether in the foreground or the background. It was just always a part of my life. And that's probably why, at the end of the day, I can say that if I had to choose one genre to listen to, it's going to be jazz. And there's honestly no doubt about that. Let me know what you guys thought, of course, of the track in the comments down below. I appreciate you all being here. Joe, thank you so much once again for the recommendation. And you even said that this is a great track to, or this is a great track to take a bike ride with. When I'm taking my bike rides, which is actually I've been running. I haven't been riding my bike actually in months, but when I'm jogging, I'm pretty much primarily listening to jazz. And if I work out, if I ever have headphones in, I'm listening to jazz really. I'm not listening to rock or anything. I'm pretty much I may be one of the few people that listens to jazz when they work out. That's let me look at my Spotify right now. Because yesterday I went for a jog. I was listening to Japanese jazz fusion. That's exactly the playlist I looked up. I wanted to listen to Japanese jazz fusion, and so that's what I looked up, and I put on a random playlist. Couldn't tell you what I listened to, but I enjoyed all the music I heard, and so on and so forth. And Spotify has been really decent with me recommending albums in accordance to what I've kind of been listening to, and I've been getting some decent jazz or jazz adjacent kind of recommendations and such. And I posted about a couple of them in the community area on the channel. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Joe, thank you once again for the request. I really appreciate that. Hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.